Hello and welcome to Legislative Report. I'm State Representative Doyle Heffley of the 122nd District in Carbon County. Tourism is Pennsylvania's #1 industry, and it clearly plays a very large role in Carbon County's economy. Recently, I paid a visit to 2 areas of my district to talk with local officials and business owners about boosting the economy through recreation and tourism. My first stop was in Lehighton. Hello, I'm here today at the Lehighton Borough Hall with Lehighton Borough Manager Nicole Beckett. Nicole, we were talking a little bit earlier about some of the economic development that we have coming here to Lehighton, and as well as some of the recreational development. If you could maybe expand upon that a little bit with the new trailhead and some of the opportunities that are coming into Lehighton Borough.
The borough, in conjunction with yourself and the senator and the DNL, has pulled together a trailhead project on our bypass. And the trailhead, we are hoping, is going to bring in not only local residents but tourists to the area. Will enhance on the physical activity and a healthy lifestyle, along with promoting the togetherness and hopefully promoting our downtown.
The DNL, the Delaware Lehigh National Corridor, has been a project that's been going on for quite a few years. Now this link here with the trailhead in Lehighton Borough will be the first connection. Lehighton has had a deep history between the rail and the Lehigh Canal, but this will be the first connection as far as for recreational and some tourism connecting Lehighton Borough to the trailhead. And to the trail itself. What do you see as some of the potential spin-offs and the economic development and also the recreational? What are some of the opportunities that are coming up in the borough?
For starters, it makes people stop in Lehighton, which is the most important thing that we can get out of the trailhead. It is going to have people stopping, along with touring our downtown, eating at our restaurants, going to our shops. In addition to that, they will be stopping here, which is very important.
I know that the Lehighton Downtown Initiative has been working for quite a few years in developing and then revitalizing the park and some of the downtown areas. I know last year we were a part of the program when they had painted the Lehighton Initiative had painted all the park benches and really and dressing up the park and working. Now, do you see as the more people coming into the area utilizing these recreational facilities and more people just spending time at home rather than maybe traveling out of the area for those recreational opportunities to bike? I mean, do you see that as a catalyst to continue to promote the whole Lehighton Downtown Initiative?
I absolutely do. Lehighton Downtown Initiative Committee, or LDIC, is working hard on promoting our downtown, along with getting people into Lehighton. So this gives them a reason to stop at our park, stop at our fountain, look at the benches, and will enhance our area fully. And in addition to that, we will be continuing on with enticing people by more art in the park, along with additional projects, enhancement projects downtown.
Well, I can see that Lehighton is definitely on the move with a new trailhead in recent years, and obviously just over the last few months of the new opening of the new police station, right now under construction of the new fire department. So there's a lot of opportunities, and there's also one of the projects that is coming about is the new hydroelectric dam as far as at Beltsville State Park, and using some of that hydroelectric. And one of the things that's unique about Lehighton is you have your own electric utility company. So all these opportunities coming to Lehighton, I commend you on a job well done thus far, and certainly look forward to working and moving together as we work to bring some new ideas and some new initiatives into Lehighton Borough in this area.
There's no doubt we're looking forward to continued progress in the borough, and we have a lot coming at us full speed ahead, and we're willing to move as fast as you're willing to move.
Well, with state resources being right now, the resources, financial resources from the state, obviously with the current budget cycle and some of the other economic concerns that folks are having, the money is not always available. So it's nice to see financing for certain projects coming back that are important to the area, and that money is being matched by the community and by private investment, to turn $1 into $20. So
absolutely. And it makes the projects happen. Otherwise, they wouldn't be happening. So, for example, hydro would not be moving forward at this point if it was not for that allocation towards it from the financing authority, nor would the other projects be moving forward without the grant funding that is available. So we welcome it.
Well, I certainly thank you and appreciate your time today and welcoming us into your office. And we look forward to working with you in the future. And just want to put a plug in for Lehigh Borough to keep up the good work.
Thank
So
you, Doyle. Thank you very much.
Okay. I'm here in downtown Jim Thorpe at Pocono Bikes with one of the owners of Pocono Whitewater and Pocono Bikes and Skirmish USA, Paul Fogel. Paul, thank you for joining us today. And if you could just talk a little bit about what brought you to Carbon County. Obviously, the business has grown. You've been in business for 37 years. What brought you here to Carbon County and the beautiful Pocono Mountains?
We came to start a whitewater rafting company. It's a river that we had known about. It's a good river. It's in a good market area. The county was a pleasant place to live, and so we came here to start a company.
Now, I've heard reports that the Lehigh River is the most heavily or most populated rafting. More people shall we say, more people raft on the Lehigh River than any other river in the United States. Is that correct?
I don't know for sure. I know it's in the top 5.
Okay, so we have one of the top 5 rivers for whitewater rafting
in the world. I would guess in the world.
In the world. Well, that's a significant presence here in Carbon County, and congratulations on the hard work you do. Right now, approximately how many employees do you have working for you with all the different companies?
With both companies, last year we had over 500.
Over 500 employees.
Yes.
Now, one of the big things, obviously my position on the tourism committee in Harrisburg, and we talk about promoting tourism across the state. Now, there have been several recent developments here in Carbon County, one of them being the Delaware-Lehigh National Corridor and the development of the rails to trails, which is really, and the development of the switchback rail line, which has really catapulted more and more the mountain biking. So you have the all-around outdoor adventure sports with the whitewater rafting and the biking, and then also you've branched off into Skirmish USA, which has held some huge events here in the Poconos. How much does it mean for the community at large and the development of these natural resources and historic trails to your business?
It's extremely important. I think that Carbon County and the Poconos has a lot of world-class tourism assets, and so we have certainly helped those grow, and we take advantage of those. But I mean, this area really has some great natural assets. From the river, from the rafting on the river, to the trail for biking, to the ski areas, to Skirmish, which is one of the world's largest paintball games. There's a lot here, and that's without even touching on the historic and heritage assets that we have. So this is for tourism, this is really a world-class destination.
And you can definitely see it. Tourism is one of the top industries here in Carbon County, with three great ski resorts, the more and more adventure outdoor sports with the biking, the mountain biking, and Skirmish. Now, you came to the area, your family settled here and started their business mainly because of the whitewater rafting and the prospects there. How did you branch off and get into the Skirmish USA? When did that come about, and how did that all start up?
Oh, it's a long story, but I played it. I had a great time. I thought that other people would enjoy it. We thought it would be a good thing to do it more in the off season, because rafting is seasonal, right? And then it just branched down to what most people consider the largest paintball game in the world.
Yeah, well, you had a huge event. I believe it was last year, where you had was billed as the largest single-day paintball battle. How many people had participated in that event?
In July, we hold our Invasion of Normandy game, and last year we had over 4,000 people.
Wow, so that's 4,000 people coming in.
Shooting paintballs at each other. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and and I think it says a lot about our area and diversity. When people look at their travel destinations, with the economy being the way it is, more and more people are staying local and finding those diamonds in the rough as Carbon County. Going back to our coal heritage days. And early industrial, the Industrial Revolution taking foot here in Carbon County to become what it is now. We still have such great outdoor resources, some terrific state game lands, the Lehigh River, the whitewater rafting, beautiful downtown Jim Thorpe. But it's also branching out to incorporate more and more as we see the links to the DNL and the rails, the old canal towpath. And connecting as far into the Lehigh Valley and almost into Philadelphia, where you can ride your bicycle essentially all the way up to Carbon County.
Yeah, the DNL trail and finishing those links and connecting is really great. I mean, it would be a total world-class ride. We could market that pretty much anywhere in the world. People could come and ride for 3 or 4 days, go from inn to inn to inn, and that kind of stuff along the trail. Yeah, it's an incredible asset. And with an aging demographic, it's a very popular asset because people can't pick up a magazine or anything without being told to stay in shape, get out and exercise and stuff like this. And this is a very pleasant, healthy way to exercise and have a good time.
And I think that's one of the nice parts about the diversity that we have here. I mean, we have is it the Class 5 rapids, or what are the different class rapids that we have on the river? And if you look at the extreme sports, and then you also have the Skirmish USA, which is more of more of a high energy extreme sport, and then you also have you provide the bicycle rentals here, as well as a sale of biking materials for people that just want to take a nice leisurely ride on the D&L trail, which is for the most part very slight grade, or pretty much a flat surface for a long time.
Yeah, you have a real diversity. Absolutely, you could have really good whitewater rafting or kayaking. You also have another section of it which is more for families. It's a little bit easier to do. You can ride the mountain biking. There's very good mountain biking in the area, or you can ride the D&L trail, which anybody can do. So it's got it all, and then you can come have dinner or walk around Jim Thorpe or shop in Jim Thorpe. So it's a complete package that can compete with anybody.
Well, thank you, Paul, for coming out and entertaining us at your facility here in downtown Jim Thorpe at Pocono Bikes. And just wanted to highlight some of the recreational activities that we have here in Carbon County, and why it's important when those state dollars come back and those investments that we make through DCNR into our communities, and how they pay off in economic growth, job creation, and tourism promotion here in Carbon County. I'm here today with Tom Marsden, owner of Blue Mountain Sport and Wear here in downtown Jim Thorpe, and we're talking about tourism, economic development, and what the tourism industry and promotion and recreation has brought here to his business, and what it means to you. Tom, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about how you got started in this business and how long you've been here in downtown Jim Thorpe?
We started in June of 1989. And we really didn't think that the biking was going to be the number one thing. We just morphed into that, basically. But we started as a four-season sporting goods store, and doing also whitewater products, as well as hiking and then the biking, and then skiing in the wintertime, cross-country skiing mainly.
Mm-hmm. Yes, as I look around the store, you're diversified, and it seems like that adventure outdoor,
right.
Recreational sport. And I see shelves of rental skis. So you rent skis. Right now we have in Carbon County here, we have 3 beautiful ski resorts.
Right.
And you rent skis. And what is generally the season? When does it start? How long does the ski season and the development of the outdoor winter sports? How long does that kind of last here in Jim Thorpe?
Well, it seems like it goes from mid-December right through, say, mid-March, sometimes the end of March. Mm-hmm. Lucky if we get the first week of April there with the ski areas. Mm-hmm. With cross-country skiing, it's a little bit shorter. We don't seem to get enough snow as we used to get on the ground for a long period of time. So our cross-country ski season seems to be a lot shorter lately. But that's a great season for us also. We have great trails in the area because of the bike trails that are in the area.
And also proximity to both the Appalachian Trail as well as the state game lands on the Broad Mountain and Mock Chunk Lake and Beltsville. You also see a lot of people that come in for hiking and just those other outdoor activities aside from biking and skiing, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But do you see a lot of people coming in that still just do the hiking on the different trails in the area? We
do, and a lot of different hiking too. I mean, it's one of the things when they come in, I ask them what type of hiking are you actually thinking about doing. And we have the Glenanoka Falls, which is a little bit, it's a tough hike up in there, Yeah. Or some people might just want to walk along something flat right along a stream, or maybe hike out to a lookout too. So we have a lot of different trails that offer all those things in this area.
Yeah, I think that's one of the opportunities, whether you're biking or hiking, say on the Switchback, which is Switchback Gravity Railroad, one of the first gravity railroads I think in the country, is if you catch it right, all downhill.
Yeah, that's right.
And the old towpath, Delaware Lehigh, National Corridor now, the Rails to Trails project. That's a relatively flat and a nice ride or walk for anybody here. And we do have some of those for the more adventurous. We do have some of the steeper climbs, which I would definitely caution people that hiking up to the Glen-Inoka, while it's very beautiful, is something that you really need to be prepared for, and it is not for the novice hiker. This is definitely more of an extreme outdoor sport.
Right.
Now, obviously, behind me we see quite a few shelves of bicycles. What kind of is it mainly the mountain bike, the adventure mountain bike, or the cross trainer, or the road bikes? What do you see mostly?
Well,
the people
definitely
are
not
renting and
road
using?
bikes. The road bikes, the roads are a little narrow in the area, although there's a lot of road bikers in this area, and they do quite well with it. But personally, I think it's a little dangerous because we don't have the big shoulders like we do in other places. Now, off-road riding is excellent in this area. We're known as one of the best places in the United States for that. And we have these trails that are just excellent. The Lehigh Gorge at 2.5% grade from Whitehaven down to Jim Thorpe. And we also have the switchback was about a 3% grade from Summit Hill down to Jim Thorpe also. And these add to other trails which are a little more aggressive, the Broad Mountain Loop and others like that have a little bit more of a mountain biking and more aggressive type of riding.
Have you seen, obviously, have you seen a growth and uptick in the amount of people coming in for these sports, and how much do you perceive some of the investments that the state has made, whether it be in the DNL or some of the heritage investments and the outdoor recreational investments that the state has made through DCNR? Do you see that as something that has helped promote your shop and the tourism industry as a whole here in Jim Thorpe and in Carbon County?
Tremendously. Let's just give an example. When we first opened up in '89, the Lehigh Gorge Trail still had coal dust on it. Yeah. So, everybody, if it rained out and they came down through there, they were just covered with black soot. Now it has crushed limestone on it. The drainage on it after a heavy rain you can use it right away. Before, you couldn't use it. So the improvements that they made just on that trail alone have been immense. And that trail is one of our biggest draws in this area, definitely.
Well, that is very important, and I think it's a good draw for state dollars to make those investments. And as you see, those investments that we make, it's for every $1, sometimes you see a $25 return on taxes and growth at the local and state level. And we can see what it's done here. And just encourage anybody that's out there looking for something fun and exciting, those adventure outdoor sports. Carbon County has a lot to offer. We have the number 9 coal mine, 3 great ski resorts, biking, hiking trails from the Appalachian Trail to the towpath, the DNL, and the heritage we have all the way from Whitehaven to Weatherly and throughout Ride to Train. So there's a lot that has been done to preserve our heritage, but also move this area into the future and build upon something. So
we're very fortunate. There's no doubt about it.
Well, Tom, I thank you for your time today and allowing us into your shop. And we're here in downtown Jim Thorpe and talking about tourism and promoting it throughout Carbon County. I'm here today in Carbon County with the director of the Carbon County Economic Development Corporation and the president of the Carbon County Chamber of Commerce, Dawn Ferrante. Dawn, thank you for joining me today. It's a little brisk out here at this time of year, but we want to take the opportunity to talk a little bit about some of the opportunities we have here in Carbon County for economic development moving forward as we look at legislation being proposed and different things we're working on in Harrisburg for both infrastructure and also to redo some of the regulatory and permitting processes. What do you see as some of the big opportunities that hinder economic development and growth throughout the state, but also here in Carbon County, where we have a beautiful scenery, a great workforce? But what do we need to do to continue to capitalize and promote that job growth that we so desperately need?
Yeah, well, Carbon County, I think like a lot of Pennsylvania counties, is rural, and we have limited areas to develop from an industrial standpoint. Mm-hmm. So my focus, and in working with you, the focus has always been on developing entrepreneurship and small business, and I know that's something that you're really passionate about. And I think part of the challenge right now, and what I would love to see better support for, is, again, like you had mentioned, reducing just the obstacles that businesses have in trying to grow or expand or even get started. Mm-hmm. So you mentioned the regulatory challenges. That's something that I see as a major obstacle. It has become so expensive for businesses to jump through the hoops that they have to jump through now, be it if they're dealing with environmental issues or transportation issues. It becomes so onerous and burdensome, not just from a process perspective, but from a time perspective in the legal fees and engineering fees that have to be paid to get through those processes. So small businesses, they don't have those deep pockets.
Yeah.
And they just end up having to pull out of the process or put off plans to expand. And that directly has an impact on job growth.
With over the decades, as economic development has evolved, there was a time when everybody thought, well, all we need to do as a community to promote that growth is to go out and attract, say, a large manufacturing facility or a large warehousing facility to come into the area and just come in, set up shop, and create 100 jobs. In today's climate, that doesn't seem like that's the likelihood or reality for economic growth. I think what Carbon County, some of the success stories that we've seen are small startup businesses that are looking to expand and create 20, 50, or maybe 30 jobs at good paying jobs. We do have some larger employers in the area and some people that have continued to invest into our region. One of the things that we have here is we have the beautiful, as you can see here in Carbon County and the county seat, we have a beautiful backdrop of a historic area. We have the workforce that fueled the industrial revolution. So we have a tremendous workforce, and looking to capitalize on that. I know some of the things we're working on with the Department of Transportation and through DEP is online permitting and to speed up that process and ways to cut down that expense. Years ago, small companies, family businesses could start up in their kitchen and evolve into a business.
Right.
We have, because of some of the federal and state regulations that have come about over time, has almost made that, taken that reality away from a lot of people. And in order to get that going, one of the things that we're looking at is regulatory reform, and part of that being the online permitting process. Have you had time to look at that? And what do you think some of the opportunities there to improve the process?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely a great start, and I really support your efforts in getting that going. And I think that the next step is to just make sure that everyone understands that they can utilize that. But creating those efficiencies are key, and I'm just hoping that the regulatory agencies are going to, also embrace those kinds of technologies.
Well, I think those are some of the opportunities, and I know this. Our current governor and his administration have been working over the last 2 years, and as I work through my second term in office here, I know that some of the legislation I have regarding the Fish and Boat Commission, regarding the Department of Transportation to free up additional dollars. It's definitely been a focus on, and we've had several discussions in our caucus, and looking forward to moving legislation to change those processes.
Yeah.
Here we are, and one of the big opportunities we have in Carbon County is transportation and infrastructure. Yeah. Most recently, we did approve the funding and we'll hopefully start construction later this year on both the McCall Bridge, Route 209 bridge in Lehighton, and the bridge here in Jim Thorpe. But there are also some other infrastructure needs here in Carbon County, and how much. Pennsylvania is a keystone state, and Carbon County, in its early days, one of the reasons that made it so attractive was the rail lines. Yeah. How do you see that infrastructure that we have in rail and also transportation, and as far as being a catalyst to moving forward here with economic growth? Yeah,
I mean, our infrastructure and transportation challenges. Again, we are we're, as you know, a rural county, so we don't have the same kinds of access to the major transportation routes that maybe some of our neighboring counties do. But we do have assets as it relates to transportation, and one of them is rail. And as you know, I have been working also with the commissioners for the project has been going on for many years, but been working in earnest over the last 4 or 5 years on the development of our own industrial park here at Packerton Yards. And that project it has met with such resistance. It's been a very challenging project, but one of the things that I always try to get people to understand is that we have a tremendous asset in that park from a rail perspective, and our legacy, as you talk about, of the railroad industry and coal and that infrastructure that we do have is something that is really, we're seeing a huge resurgence in. And companies that are looking to relocate or expand are looking for those kinds of resources, and we have them here. So I think the biggest challenge that we both face in trying to get some of these things to move ahead is that there's just a lack of understanding about what benefit these assets could bring. And, people tend to say, not in my backyard, and there's a lot of fear.
Well, I think, and I agree. And
how do we get past that?
Yeah, we've heard a lot of that. Not in my backyard. And as you look around, I mean, I live in the in the beautiful Carbon County, residence in Pomerantz, which the New Jersey Zinc Company had built. As we stand here in the county seat in Carbon County, and Jim Thorpe, the coal industry and the rail industry built that.
Right.
You go to Weatherly and the old Weatherly Forge,
Right.
and the mining operations that were here that fueled the Industrial Revolution. And that workforce is still here. A lot of that infrastructure is still here, and that work ethic, which is one of the keys. We have a tremendous work ethic in our area. And as we tie all those together with some of the economic opportunities, we see when we do see some development coming in the Packerton Yard, also in the West Plant, and also some of the other industrial sites in the Panther Creek. We have some already established businesses in Penn Teledata, which is a world-class internet and telecommunication company, and Kovac, which is a world-class builder of fire apparatus and equipment, and we expand upon that. Those that we do have that workforce, and we expand upon the additional training that's needed, and it's a total package. But a lot of businesses are looking to come back onshore. We talked a little bit earlier about the natural gas industry and the prospects that we could have in here as using natural gas as an incubator to fuel our energy that we need moving forward. And
Absolutely.
I know one of the things that we're also looking at in the legislature right now is promoting and pushing for the expansion of that reliable energy source of natural gas powered vehicles, and also natural gas to fuel the second industrial revolution here in Carbon County and throughout our state. So,
and that's your vision. That's a really, to have Carbon County be sort of the, birthplace or resurgence or emergence of that industry. And I'm fully behind. I mean, if there's anything I can do to support you in that, I'm there for that, because I think we are uniquely positioned, being so close to what's happening with Marcellus Shale. And I mean, if you just look at Kovac, they have been able to expand into their water truck line as a direct result of supporting that emerging industry. So we are on the periphery of that, but we can certainly benefit from it. So,
and we see it with our rail. I mean, behind us is the historic train station here that once carried passengers, but yet a few feet from that we have lines that are actively hauling materials to and from those gas fields. And that workforce up there is, right now in some of those areas they're looking at very low unemployment, so they're actually looking for workers. So as we look to capitalize on that, and how can Carbon County? Well, we're not going to have any drilling or fracturing going on per se for the foreseeable future in Carbon County. What we do have is we have a great tourism industry and promotion where people can come to stay here and relax, enjoy, and also people that are looking to relocate businesses or create jobs here in this area. We have a lot to offer from our picturesque mountains to our whitewater rafting and bike trails, our historic districts, and also a great workforce. So I definitely look forward to working with you as we move forward on legislation in Harrisburg to provide opportunities. Government can create jobs. I mean, if we could create jobs, everybody would be working. But we need to provide those opportunities for economic growth in an economic to create that economic driver and be eco-friendly, making sure that we're preserving and protecting our environment, because we all breathe the air and drink the water. But at the same time, also making sure that people can afford to live in a home and have some of the benefits that a good economy has to offer. So, well, I thank you, Dawn, for your time, and thank everybody for joining us today on this edition of our legislative report. Thank you.